Is ESO Plus worth paying for? Well, that's going to depend on how much you value the benefits being offered. So in this video, I'm going to take you through each of these benefits and hopefully help you to decide whether ESO Plus is worth it for you personally. Before we look at specific features, it's definitely worth highlighting that you can absolutely play and enjoy the game without a monthly subscription. You're still going to need to buy the base game and expansions, or chapters as they're referred to, but unlike the early days of ESO, the subscription is no longer mandatory. This has actually been the case since 2015 after the game's, let's just say, uninspiring launch. So you can absolutely still play. Not subscribing just means that you're missing a number of benefits that Plus members get. Some of the benefits are fairly unimportant and don't have much of an impact. Some are more substantial, and there's definitely one in particular that I believe can have a very big impact on your game. So let's start with the benefits that enable ESO Plus to actually save money for certain players. When I say certain players, I'm basically referring to players who intend to play all of the DLC in a relatively short space of time, about a year or less. I'm also talking about people who are likely to spend a lot of money in the Crown Store. The first benefit you get with Plus membership is access to all of the game's DLC content as part of your monthly subscription. This could definitely be considered one of the big draws of ESO Plus. If you're new to the game, you may be wondering what constitutes a DLC in ESO. Well, in basic terms, DLCs typically offer you a new story to follow. As part of this, you usually get somewhere new to explore, new quests, some new challenging group content such as a new dungeon, as well as new gear, sets, achievements and collectibles. If you're going to want to play through all of the DLC, then it actually may be overall cheaper for you to have a Plus membership. Why? Well, to see that, let's compare the price of subscribing against buying the DLCs individually. At present, there are 13 DLCs available, priced from 1,500 to 2,000 crowns, with the exception of Orsinium, which is a little larger and priced at 3,000 crowns. Crowns, by the way, are the in-game currency that you can buy with real-world currency, a concept you're probably used to seeing in most games these days. You might have noticed that chapters are 3,500 crowns, but we're not including them in the calculation as they're not actually included in Plus membership. You can buy these crowns in bulk and get a bit of a discount, but if you were to buy 1,500 crowns right now at the normal rate, it would cost you $10.99. So essentially a 1,500 crown DLC is going to cost you $10.99. For a 2,000 crown DLC, you're looking at closer to £15 or dollars, and you'll have to check that depending on which currency you're dealing in. So to buy all 13 of the DLC on current Crown Store prices, you're looking at 23,500 crowns. To do this at the best possible rate, you'd need to buy a 21,000 crown pack for £109.99 and a 3,000 crown pack at £18.99. And that's if you can even afford to buy crowns in bulk like this. If you buy them in smaller amounts and get each DLC separately, it's going to be a bit more expensive. So best case, you're talking just shy of £130 for all of the DLC, which is pretty much equivalent to 13 months of ESO Plus. That's on the standard roll-in monthly rate of $9.99. So I would say if you think you're going to get through all of the DLC in a year or less, then ESO Plus actually makes total sense as you'll save some money and get all of the other benefits. However, if you just want to slowly make your way through one DLC at a time over a longer period and you don't care about the other benefits that we're going to go through, then you could start arguing that ESO Plus wouldn't be cost efficient for you. Just to make it very clear as well, you can't just buy 1 month of Plus and unlock all of the DLC forever. You'd only be able to access each DLC whilst you're actually subscribed. I'm not going to try and push you either way on this. I mean, to be frank, I don't really care whether you buy ESO Plus or not. It's not like I'm going to be the one that gets the money. But what I'm trying to do here is just present the different scenarios and what might be most cost efficient for you depending on what you want to do in the game. So moving on to benefit number 2, which is another basic value for money decision. Essentially, a Plus membership gives you 1,650 crowns per month to spend in the Crown Store. Well, you'll already know from our previous point that 1,650 crowns is actually more expensive on the store than the ESO Plus monthly fee. Unless you start buying crowns in bulk, of course. So if you're someone who's going to spend this much or more in the cash shop each month, then it almost makes sense to have ESO Plus for that alone. Personally, I'm not really interested in much that the cash shop has to offer, apart from perhaps the XP scrolls for alts. But even saying that, I wouldn't be buying them if I wasn't getting this as a consequence of subscribing anyway. However, you can buy all different kinds of vanity items on the store, as well as plenty of items that offer in-game value and utility, so maybe it'll appeal to you a lot more than it does to me. I'm not going to list all of the store items here, you can easily go to the ESO website and find that out. This kind of ties into the third benefit as well, which is exclusive access to unique Crown Store deals. Again, if you're the kind of player that's going to dump a load of cash on the store anyway, then this could be a cost saving for you. Like I said before, this isn't something I'm that interested in, and I don't really take advantage of any of these discounts. So those are the benefits that will potentially save you money, but only if you're going to spend it on that stuff anyway. Benefit number 4 is purely cosmetic. You get the exclusive ability to dye costumes, so an extra option for customization of your armor essentially. I honestly couldn't care less about this one, it's just not my thing at all, and every time I try and make my armor look better with it, I just make it look worse. However, I'm sure many of you have a much better eye for colour than I do, so it might be fun and interesting for you. It's not something I would pay for personally, but you know, it's not really meant to be the core draw of getting a Plus membership in the first place. The remaining features you get with Plus could be described as efficiency and in-game convenience benefits, I guess. Some of them are fairly minor in my opinion, but one or two are quite significant, and there's one in particular that has a massive impact on my personal experience in ESO. Benefit number 5 gives you a 10% increase to gold and experience acquisition. This isn't huge on your first character, as hopefully you're just enjoying the game and not looking at maximising XP and gold gain at this point. However, when you're leveling second and third characters and going over old content, then it can be quite nice to have a little boost in efficiency. Number 6 is basically exactly the same thing, but it offers 10% increase to crafting inspiration and trait research rates. So rather than speeding up character leveling and gold, it helps you to level your professions at a faster rate. Again, it just smooths things out on those alt characters that you make after you've leveled your main character. The two benefits I've just described here are probably the ones that raise the question as to whether ESO is a little pay to win. I would say that the answer to that really depends on your definition of pay to win. So you can't just buy all of the best gear from the Crown store and then run around stomping everything and everyone. So I guess in that sense it's not pay to win. But I suppose it is paying for speed and convenience. So if getting to max level faster than somebody else by spending money is your definition of pay to win, then yeah, I guess by definition it would be pay to win. For me, pay to win's more about being able to outperform other players in group PvE or PvP just from spending cash. Really, it just comes down to how you personally feel about it. Anyway, let's get away from that and address the remaining 4 benefits that relate really to convenience. So benefit number 7 allows you to double the number of transmutation crystals that you can carry. Essentially, transmutation crystals allow you to change the assigned traits of your weapons or armor. This can be useful as it means you don't have to farm them as frequently, or more importantly, you don't feel like you're wasting them if you're unable to pick them up due to max capacity. So there's definitely a benefit there. I would argue that it's debatable how useful these are for casual players who don't really care about min-maxing, but if you consider yourself even semi-casual, it does start to become more relevant. The next benefit offers double furnishings and collectible space in player housing. I'll be honest, I don't really care about this one myself. This is because I'm not really that interested in player housing, so I don't find myself routinely running into capacity issues. That being said, I do know that some people absolutely love this and find it a real benefit to have that extra space. As you've seen, I've been quite honest with the benefits that I've told you I just don't really care about, and I'm going to continue that honesty to tell you about the 2 final benefits that I really do care about. Benefit number 9 gives you double bank space for your account. This is a big one, especially if you're going to have a lot of characters, as your bank is going to be shared between them. You pick up a huge number of items in this game, and many of them are worth keeping hold of. It just really doesn't take long before your bank starts to fill up entirely. I can't say that I love that this one is behind a paywall after buying the base game and the subsequent chapters, but I guess that's just how it is. Which leads us on to the 10th and final benefit, the really, really big one. This is the crafting bag. The crafting bag offers unlimited storage for crafting materials. Now, it sounds like it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it really is a massive deal. Crafting's particularly important in ESO as it actually allows you to create some of the best items in the game. And guess what? It requires an enormous number of different materials, all of which have to be stored in your inventory and bank if you don't have the bottomless crafting bag. If you don't have it, you are going to, without doubt, spend a huge amount of time trying to manage and optimize your inventory in order to store all of the materials that you're going to need to level up your crafting skill lines. This will likely mean that you have to start dumping the lower level materials that the crafting bag would allow you to easily store due to the fact that it truly is bottomless. For me personally, this has made having a Plus membership essential. Do I like the fact that this feature is behind a paywall? Well, yes and no, I guess. Yes, in the sense that I think it's quite a nice benefit to have an unlimited crafting bag, but a big fat no in the sense that existing inventory space just isn't sufficient for crafting materials. I personally think it would be better to offer a small crafting bag by default to non-ESO Plus members and then unlimited to the members. However, I'm getting on a rant and that's not why you're here. I just want to present the facts to you so that you can make a decision. So the big question for you is, do you believe that the 10 perks we've just been through are sufficiently valuable to warrant spending $9.99 on a monthly basis? I can't tell you which way to go. All I can really tell you are my reasons for subscribing, which are the DLC access, the bank and the crafting bag. But you might work out that it's more cost effective for you to pay for the DLC one by one, and you might not even care about crafting. It's really all just personal choice. Anyway, I really hope this has been helpful. If you enjoyed the video, then maybe consider subscribing for more. But either way, have a great day and I look forward to seeing you next time.